Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam pointed out towards the moon, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala split it into two parts. They saw that, they witnessed that thing by their eyes. Even after witnessing that, they did not accept Islam. When they saw that Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is fulfilling, or he is showing some unnatural things, or those things which a regular person can do, so they decided to lower their ego. They came to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with a compromise. They came with a courtesy. They said that, "O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you compromise in something, we are going to compromise with you." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah Al-Qalam, "Waddu law tudhinu fayudhinun." They will, if you give up or if you compromise, they are ready to negotiate with you. They are going to compromise with you. And what was the idea they came up with, or what they were negotiating for? They said, "O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we are going to worship your God, that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but you have to worship our God as well. One day we will be worshipping your God, you have to worship another day our gods." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly declared that this is something impossible. قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ, O disbelievers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never addressed in such manner. Whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to address Muslim and non-Muslims together, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use Ya ayyuhan nas. But in this verse, or in this surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ, O disbelievers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly declared that these are disbelievers. They came up with such idea, with such compromise, that a muwahhid will never be accepting such thing. Ya ayyuhal kafirun, O disbeliever, la a'budu ma ta'budun, I don't worship what you worship. Wala antum a'biduna ma a'bud, and you are not going to worship what I worship. Wala ana a'bidum ma a'badtum, and I will never worship what you worship. Wala antum a'biduna ma a'bud, and you are not going to worship what I worship. Lakum dinukum waliyadin, for you is your religion and for me is my religion. When they saw that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not tend or inclined to have such a compromise, he is not ready to negotiate with anything, there is one riwayah in Ibn Hisham, but that is mu'allaq with no sanad. They came up to Abu Talib requesting or offering that if you surrender your nephew to us, we are going to provide you Umara bin Walid bin Mughira as he will become your nephew. We will kill Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In return, we are going to give you another young guy. But this is mu'allaq riwayah, narrated by Ibn Hisham. But there is another riwayah which is sahih in Musnad Ahmad. When Abu Talib fell ill, they came to Abu Talib with such a compromise, or with such an offer, that they said that, "O Abu Talib, now everything your nephew is exceeding the limits. Now let's have some conversation with him, let's have some compromise with him." So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came and said, "There is only one thing I want you to say. If you say one thing, only that kalima, all the Arab will be behind you, and all the Ajam, all the non-Arabs will be giving you tribute." So Abu Jahl, he was there in that gathering. He was about to jump out of happiness. He said that, "Oh nephew, you want only one thing from us? We are ready to say 10 things. You're just talking about one kalima. We are ready to compromise with 10 things, with multiple things. Let us know what is your demand. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the only demand I have, just say La ilaha illallah. There is no one worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The only demand I have is this: you have to declare that there is no one worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Abu Jahl and the Quraysh, the leaders, they said that this person, this guy, he's not going to fulfill even a bit what we are willing to have. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they said, the leaders, the chiefs of Makkah, they said to each other that we are not going to believe, we are not going to affirm what he is saying, and rather you have to stand firm on your religion. They told to each other. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Surah As-Sad, that in the beginning of Surah As-Sad, wal Qur'ani the dhikr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that by Qur'an, which is full of lessons and admonitions, بَلِ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا فِي عِزَّةٍ وَشِقَاقٍ, the kuffar, the disbelievers, they are in false pride, they are in arrogance, and they are in opposition. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, كَمْ أَهْلَكْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ مِنْ قَرْنٍ فَنَادَوْا وَلَا تَحِينَ مَنَاسٍ. There are many of the people, there are many generations which we destroyed, and they cried out when it was too late. They realized, and when they realized, that was already late. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَعَجِبُوا أَنْ جَاءَهُمْ مُنذِرٌ مِّنْهُمْ. And they wonder, they are astonished, that they wonder that a person among them came to themselves from among themselves. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَقَالَ الْكَافِرُونَ هَذَا سَاحِرٌ كَذَّابٌ. نَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ. The pagans, they say that هَذَا سَاحِرٌ, this is a magician, كَذَّاب, liar, not just كَذِب, كَذَّاب, a big liar. He is fabricating all these things from his heart. Wallahu al-musta'an. Then they said, أَجَعَلَ الْآلِهَ إِلَهًا وَاحِدًا. Is he making all our gods one God? Has he reduced all our gods to one God? They said, إِنَّ هَذَا لَشَيْءٌ عُجَابٌ. This is something strange. This is something we are not going to believe in. And then they said, وَانْطَلَقَ الْمَلَأُ مِنْهُمْ أَنِ امْشُوا وَاصْبِرُوا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that they started walking from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they started saying to each other that be patient on your religion. Don't leave your gods. Be patient on your religion. Don't leave your gods. إِنَّ هَذَا لَشَيْءٌ يُرَادٌ. This is something, he is just willing to have some position and power. He is just willing to have some position. Now after this, when they saw that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam not willing to compromise with aqidah, with tawheed, they started ridiculing the Quran and the one who revealed, that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the one who brought it, that is Jibreel alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَا تَجْهَرْ بِصَلَاتِكَ. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he started offering salah around Kaaba, and he used to recite Quran loudly. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam not to recite Quran loudly in salah. وَلَا تُخَافِتْ بِهَا. And not to whisper, not to that loud that people can't listen to him. People can't hear what he is reciting. And the reason, Mufassirun, they mention why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that why he should not recite it loudly and even not that lower that people can't listen to him. The first reason, if he start reciting loudly, kuffar will start torturing him. They will start ridiculing, they will start mocking on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and on his qira'ah. And if he recite Quran by just whispering, there were some kuffar, there were some pagans who used to listen the Quran. They used to love listening the Quran. They were not declaring that they are inclined toward Islam just out of fear of the other kuffar and chiefs. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, recite it, but not that louder, even not that with low voice, that those who are inclined towards Islam, they are not able to listen Quran. It should be وَابْتَغِ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ سَبِيلًا. It should be in the middle manner. It should be in the middle course. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then some of the companions, when they saw that these pagans, they are not willing to accept Islam, they are not willing to accept the Tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, rather they are mocking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Jibreel and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam and Quran and recitation. Some of the companions, they started criticizing their gods. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَا تَسُبُّ الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. Do not criticize or do not curse those deities to whom they are invoking. Why? Can anyone tell? Exactly. In spite, they will start criticizing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wallahul musta'an. So this shows a point that sometimes we have to compromise few things. Sometimes we have to compromise few things so that we can get good outcome from others. Yes.
Also, we shouldn't make fun of the gods, because if we make fun of the gods, they're going to think that Muslims are mean, bad, they're not good people.
Exactly. That's so true. It's a good point he mentioned, that the da'i, the person who is calling others towards Islam, he must have good character. If people start abusing each other, if people start abusing or criticizing each other in really harsh manner, no one will going to come near you. As Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Bashiru, give glad tidings. Wala tanaffaru, do not make people go away from you. Give glad tidings. Wala tanaffaru, don't let others run away from you." Somehow, the next method, the kuffar, they took the next way, they consulted with Jews. This is recorded by Ibn Hisham, and this riwayah also mu'allaq. There is another hadith which is recorded by Imam Muslim in his Sahih, and Imam Ahmad in his Musnad, and Imam Tirmidhi in his Jami'. But that incident occurred in Medina. But this riwayah, this is with no sanad. That kuffar, but it is so popular, that's why I'm mentioning it. Kuffar of Makkah, they connected with Jews, and they asked them to come and disdain Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Since Jews were having good knowledge, so some of the Jews, they sent a delegation to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to ask few questions, and those questions were the quantity, the number of people of Ashabul Kahf, and what is Ruh, and the third question, Dhul Qarnayn. Who was Dhul Qarnayn? They came up with these three questions. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he answered all of these three questions, and kuffar of Makkah, they again lost the hope. Wallahu al-musta'an. Just see how they are trying, how hard they are trying to criticize Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to suppress his da'wah. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all the time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed something, and this shows that how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala supports his slaves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't leave his slaves abandoned. All the time, whenever kuffar came with any new idea, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed some verses. Whenever they came up with some new idea, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala supported Rasulullah and the believers with revelation. This shows how merciful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is and how patient a da'i should be. At the end, I invoke Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to understand the Quran and Sunnah, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to propagate, to preach the Tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين.